The arrest of Mahmoud Khalil has sent shockwaves through U.S. civil society, raising profound concerns about the implications for immigration rights and the fundamental principle of free speech. This incident demands a thorough examination, shedding light on the chilling precedent it sets for academic freedom and political expression within the United States. The arrest, which occurred on a Saturday, followed a pattern of harassment targeting Khalil by pro-Israel activists who had publicly urged the Trump administration to deport him. The escalating pressure culminated in Khalil's desperate plea for help from Columbia University the day before his apprehension. In a heartfelt email to the university's interim president, he expressed his profound fear for his safety, stating, "I haven't been able to sleep, fearing that ICE or a dangerous individual might come to my home. I urgently need legal support, and I urge you to intervene and provide the necessary protections to prevent further harm." Tragically, his plea went unanswered. His wife confirmed the university's failure to respond to his urgent request for assistance, leaving him vulnerable and alone in the face of intensifying threats. The arrest was immediately seized upon by Donald Trump as a victory, presented as the first step in his promised campaign to deport international students involved in pro-Palestinian demonstrations. This rhetoric reflects the administration's broader tendency to conflate pro-Palestinian activism with antisemitism and support for Hamas, a characterization widely contested by civil liberties advocates and legal experts. Trump's declaration that Khalil's arrest was the first arrest of many to come served as a chilling warning, casting a pall of fear over the already precarious position of international students engaged in political expression. The Trump administration's legal justification for Khalil's deportation rests on a rarely invoked provision of U.S. immigration law, allowing for the deportation of individuals deemed to pose a threat to U.S. foreign policy. The charging document, addressed to Khalil, cites Secretary of State Marco Rubio's assertion that there is reasonable ground to believe that your presence or activities in the United States would have potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States. The New York Times subsequently reported that the State Department's rationale centers on the claim that Khalil's continued presence in the U.S. would negatively impact the nation's efforts to combat antisemitism globally. This reasoning, however, is both vague and alarming in its potential scope. The vagueness of the adverse foreign policy consequences argument is deeply troubling. It raises serious concerns about the potential for its arbitrary and expansive application. This precedent could easily extend beyond international students participating in Gaza protests to encompass any non-citizen engaging in advocacy for Palestinian rights, or, indeed, any issue designated as a foreign policy priority by the administration. This represents a dangerous erosion of the principle of free speech, a cornerstone of American democracy. The implications are far-reaching, extending far beyond the specific case of Mahmoud Khalil. As the legal journal Just Security astutely points out, the government could, theoretically, utilize this precedent to target a wide range of individuals whose views conflict with its policies. They provide a compelling hypothetical example. If the government has an objective to promote fossil fuel use across the globe, for example, then the Secretary of State could deem climate science advocates, or even non-citizens who own green technology firms, deportable on the ground that their residency undermines the policy objective of promoting fossil fuels. This highlights the inherent danger of such broad and vaguely defined legal grounds for deportation. The arrest of Mahmoud Khalil has sparked widespread condemnation from civil liberties organizations. Brian Haas, a senior staff attorney at the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, declared the arrest to be one of the biggest threats, if not the biggest threat to First Amendment freedoms in 50 years. He correctly identifies it as a direct attempt to punish speech based solely on its viewpoint. This sentiment is echoed across the spectrum of civil rights advocates who see in this case a profound threat to the very foundations of American democracy. The chilling effect of this precedent cannot be overstated. International students and other non-citizens now face the prospect of deportation for expressing views that conflict with the administration's foreign policy objectives. This creates a climate of fear, stifling open discourse, and undermining the free exchange of ideas that is essential for a vibrant and democratic society. The implications extend far beyond the immediate concerns of the individuals affected, representing a serious threat to the long-term health of American democracy and the nation's commitment to fundamental human rights. This incident underscores the urgent need for a robust legal challenge to the administration's actions and a broader societal discussion about the crucial balance between national security interests and the protection of fundamental rights. The case of Mahmoud Khalil serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of these rights and the constant vigilance required to safeguard them. The silence of Columbia University in the face of Khalil's desperate plea only exacerbates the gravity of this situation, highlighting the urgent need for educational institutions to actively protect their students from political persecution. The implications of this case resonate far beyond the borders of the United States, sending a message to the global community about the state of free speech and academic freedom within a nation that once championed these values. The international community is watching, and the response to this incident will shape perceptions of the United States' commitment to its own ideals. The future of free speech and academic freedom in the U.S. hinges on the outcome of this case and the subsequent actions taken to address the broader implications. The implications are severe and far-reaching, demanding immediate and decisive action to prevent the erosion of fundamental rights and the chilling effect on political expression within the nation. The question remains: will the U.S. uphold its commitment to these fundamental principles, or will it allow this precedent to stand as a testament to the suppression of dissent and the erosion of democratic values?